Welcome back to the channel, Survive and Thrive, and today I really just want to get right into this. A very exciting stock option out there that I've been getting involved with and have a holdings in, and that's Nvidia, NVDA. I wanted to touch on this particular company because it's an exciting disruptor industry out there that's going to be long-term growth as well as the immediate short-term now. You really want to do your homework on this one. It did have a 4-to-1 stock split, and this was back in July. And you can see that even since then, I'll get into it in more detail, that it's making a run. Going further into this article, as I mentioned, a 4-to-1 stock split happened in the month of July. And at that time, the stock had closed at $751 on July 19th. Meaning that it was about $187 or $188 when it actually made its stock split. I wanted to touch on this key highlight. The stock price has delivered nearly 5,000% returns over the past decade. A $10,000 investment 10 years ago would be worth approximately $500,000 today. So you can see that this is a very high growth stock. And with this 4-to-1 stock split, it's really bringing in a lot more of new investors who can get in while the price per share is still relatively cheap. And I still think that it's going to go up to that $700 or $800 range in the next 2 to 4 years. On Motley Fool, why Nvidia is a top growth stock to buy right now. This was published on August 29th. The good part is that the company didn't disappoint when it released its fiscal 2022 second quarter results. Nvidia crushed Wall Street's expectations. It reported robust growth in revenue and earnings and set forth solid guidance that exceeded analysts' estimates. The company's Q2 revenue shot up 68% year over year to a record $6.51 billion, while adjusted earnings surged 89% to $1.04 per share. Nvidia expects $6.8 billion in revenue this quarter, which would translate into a 44% year over year increase. However, don't be surprised to see Nvidia exceed expectations once again thanks to favorable business conditions and the company's dominant position in the video gaming and data center markets, which could help the stock deliver more upside over the long run. And what I've seen and read is that this one is going to be one that you're going to want to jump in on quickly, because I missed this initially, and I've known about Nvidia for a long time, a PC gamer myself back in the day. And I really wish I would have jumped on this one much sooner, like 3 to 5 years ago. Nvidia's two biggest businesses are built for long-term growth. Nvidia CFO Colette Kress pointed out on the earnings conference call, GPU demand continues to outpace supply. This is impressive considering that graphics cards based on the Ampere GPUs have been on sale for over a year now. More importantly, Nvidia noted that only 20% of its installed base has upgraded to an RTX series card. So the majority of Nvidia customers are still using cards running on older architecture such as Pascal, which was introduced over 5 years ago. So the upgrade cycle that Nvidia's Ampere GPUs have triggered is set to continue, especially considering that more games now have features like ray tracing, which can only be experienced on RTX series cards. Additionally, the growing population of video gamers is also turning out to be a tailwind for Nvidia's gaming business. The company highlighted that the number of PC gamers has increased by 20% in the past year on the popular game distribution platform, Steam. So you can see that there's a huge following with Steam, and there is a huge group out there that is still really into PC gaming. So having the premium graphic card that you can, or graphic processor unit, is going to give you the ultimate experience. And I think that with the holidays coming up and people trying to get the latest upgrades, that they're going to take advantage of buying new computers, buying new GPUs and graphics cards, and really helping out Nvidia's company as well as others that are involved with gaming. Nvidia can win big from the secular growth of the PC gaming hardware market. For instance, GPU sales are expected to jump to $54 billion in 2025 from $23.6 billion in 2020. I mean, almost or more than double, you can see right there. So that is a huge jump in 5 years' time. And Nvidia controlled 80% of the space in the first quarter of 2021. All of this indicates that the healthy growth of its gaming business is here to stay for a long time to come. Like I said, I've known about Nvidia for at least the last 10 to 15 years, if not longer, probably 20 years. And so they've been a well-established business. They do this very well. They know their niche market, and they continue to outperform. Meanwhile, the data center segment turned in another quarter of outstanding growth, with revenue increasing 35% year over year to $2.4 billion. It accounted for 36% of the top line. The business's strong growth was driven by the increasing adoption of its data center chips by hyperscale and cloud computing customers. Those chips have been deployed by the likes of Microsoft, Amazon, and Alphabet's Google. Nvidia is witnessing growth across diverse niches of the data center market, including artificial intelligence, AI, inferencing. The company's inference-related revenue more than doubled year over year thanks to the new A30 GPUs, which are 4 times more powerful than previous generation T4 chips. Additionally, Nvidia's GPUs are helping companies deploy AI for real-world use cases. What's more, the company says that it's winning share in the data center accelerator market as customers are shifting from CPUs to GPUs, driven by the stringent performance, latency, and cost requirements of deploying and scaling deep learning AI workloads. And I know a lot of you out there have seen the studies and where the industry is headed, but artificial intelligence is one of those disruptors that is going to be life-changing for many of us investors. If you really take the time to do your due diligence and get behind those companies that are going to be here in the next 10 to 15 years and really propel where this industry is headed. This latest article in Investors Business Daily from September 24th is Nvidia stock a buy as Bounce offers new entry. Nvidia's EPS rating is a superior 97 and its SMR rating is an A on a scale of A+ to a worst E. The EPS rating compares a company's earnings growth to other stocks, and its SMR rating gauges sales growth, profit margins, and a return on equity. So a very high rating in both the EPS and SMR. Out of 41 analysts covering NVDA stock, 33 rated a buy, 6 have a hold, and 2 have a sell, according to FactSet. One other key note to point out, this year Nvidia began making dedicated chips for mining cryptocurrencies. Its cryptocurrency mining processors, or CMPs, launched in February and generated $266 million in Q2 sales. Just such another good way for them to branch out and really take advantage of the markets out there, finding those new niches and business segments that can really help them to build and propel their future growth and the immediate time now. Nvidia stock technical analysis. Nvidia earns an unbeatable IBD composite rating of 99. In other words, it has outperformed 99% of all other stocks in terms of combined technical and fundamental metrics. In fact, Nvidia belongs to the IBD leaderboard, a list of stocks with the most potential for big gains. Investors generally should focus on stocks with CRs of 90 or even 95. Lastly, I just wanted to touch on what's been happening with this share price. Over the last year, they've made a 69.4% gain. Like I mentioned, when it actually made its stock split, it was about 188, 187, somewhere in that range. It might have been a little higher or lower. I don't have the exact figure in front of me. But you can see that since that time from July until September, almost October now, we're at $220, $221 per share. So very great gain even in that short period of time. And like I said, I think that this is your opportunity, if you missed it the first time, to really jump in and get behind this before it becomes much, much, much more expensive. I could see it going to $700 or $800 in the foreseeable future. And you can see that even in the last 5 years, they've had a 1,189% increase. Absolutely amazing. So I'm not a professional investor. I'm doing this for entertainment and my own personal opinion to get it out there. But this is one that, mark my words, and this video will be on YouTube to prove it. This one is going to grow very rapidly and accelerate and continue to give some very great returns to those investors who jump in now. Would love to hear from others about what they think about the other AI companies that are out there that might be competitors to Nvidia, or if there are specific investors who have holdings within Nvidia and where you think it might be headed in the next 2 to 5 years. And as always, I'm continuing to build this community. I'm up to almost 65 subscribers now. I really want to hit that next milestone of 100 and then go to the next 250, 500, and eventually to 1,000. I don't know if it's going to happen this year, but all I can really do is for those that believe and understand what I'm trying to do in terms of helping others out there in the investment world, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on that bell. The like button is huge. It gets the algorithm to really uplist this video so that others can get this free education and have an opportunity to make some money. That really is the point of this. Continue to build your wealth, get on that path of financial freedom, and let's try to beat this rat race. So as always, make it a great week, and don't just survive, thrive!